to Pubcon here, TechZulu live in Vegas, and I am with Prashant with AdLift.com. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
So you were on a panel just now. What was that all about?
Yeah, so I was actually on two panels. One was on global search strategy. So we're basically discussing, as the world gets smaller, how can search marketeers make use of that, choose which geographies to go after, launch websites there, and if they already have websites there, then how do you sort of monetize that? And
What are some of those strategies?
yeah, so there are a number of different strategies, and the way we work in AdLift is, we break it out into keyword, competitive, and site analysis. So we actually have this on-page, off-page process that we follow, and each of them is a different segment. It's a different animal on its own. And with all the different tools out there and our own proprietary tools, we basically go ahead and help our clients to figure out what are the key strategies, because each strategy is very different from country to country. So whether it's keyword, what's different in UK versus US. So right from your keyword analysis and figuring out which keywords you want to go after, to who your competitors are. Again, competitors can be very different from market to market.
Okay.
So it involves sort of a lot of legwork that we basically help with.
Sure. What are some of the biggest differences between, say, the US and the UK, or the US and another major market?
Yeah, so I would say one of the biggest differences is just the keyword selection. So some keywords that are pretty synonymous with the US might not be with the UK. An example is pants. Pants means something very different. So you want to go after trousers. Another good example would be just the color, just the spellings of different keywords.
Yeah, true.
So if you spell color differently in the UK, you're going to get a misspelling. So
With an O-U-R?
That's right. That's correct. So just a couple of nuances to keep in mind, and then I think it's easier from an SEO standpoint to understand the different English-speaking markets, but it's a whole different animal when you're talking about LATAM, which is really growing, China, Russia, all these non-English-speaking, huge search marketing countries which are coming up now, and how do you deal with strategies there?
Just seems overwhelming to me, but AdLift takes care of that.
That's correct. That's right.
You were on a second panel as well. What was that one about?
That's right. That was on local app search monetization. So with everybody talking about mobile and how apps have really increased in their reach, this was basically talking about and informing the audience how important it is to have either a mobile website or an app. I mean, there was some of the...
What do you think? A mobile website or an app, or both?
I would say definitely a mobile website. Okay. You see a lot more people, searching on the mobile web browsers as of today, but that's clearly shifting. But I would say, if you have one to pick, go with a mobile website because it's super easy. But if it makes sense, if you're like an e-commerce website, go for the app also, because we've seen some stellar trends in shopping, mobile shopping, where close to 75-80% of the people actually prefer taking their mobile phone out and reading reviews versus actually asking the salesperson while they are in store.
Wow.
So men don't like asking questions, and this this is one data point that proves that.
The things that you learn at Pubcon. So how does mobile affect SEO, or how is search on a mobile device different as it relates to SEO?
So one of the main factors that is different is because mobile platforms are very different. Mobile phones are very different. So each phone renders differently. So you can have, if you're on the 4th position, you might be way below the fold on a mobile phone. So it really it makes a lot of sense to optimize, to do mobile SEO, because it gets you maximum bang for your buck if you're above the fold, if you're in the top 3. So it just makes mobile SEO all the more important.
Seems like mobile SEO would be even more of a challenge then, because you have this much space to contend with in terms of being one of those top 3 positions.
Absolutely, that's correct. And that's where it becomes very challenging, because then you have even Google putting in their ads on top of those 3 results and at the bottom. So it just makes more sense. And now looking at mobile, US penetration, 84% of the US adult population now has a phone. So just making sure that you're on there and you're searchable is becoming very important.
Were you here for Leo Laporte's keynote?
I wasn't. I just got in. I got in this morning.
Well, apparently he said that search engines will not be relevant within 6 months. Everybody is talking about that here at the conference.
That's right.
Prashant, what do you think of that statement?
So I would have loved to be there for the keynote to understand what the context was, and I've been
Right.
hearing about this even at lunch. Uh, I would say, we've seen trends like this, and I think one of the examples that he gave was Atari, which is the leader in video games. But I think one of the key things to remember is that Google continues to innovate. And it's still sort of the elephant in the room, and there have been a lot of players who've come and gone, whether it's Qul, it's, Blako is still there, Bing, which is, powered by Microsoft, which has deep pockets, hasn't been able to catch up.
Right.
So,
What do you think will happen with Bing, by the way?
uh, I think from a strategy standpoint, the alliance that they did with Yahoo was great because they got that at like 1/10 the price that they were willing to pay when Steve Ballmer made that offer to Yahoo. So I think that definitely helps. But I think one thing to remember is that this is sort of a first player advantage, if you may, where Google came in, started to innovate, found there was loopholes in the search world, and really started to enhance the product.
Right.
And with the money that they got, they didn't just sit back. They actually started to innovate and give different products out for free. I was just talking about how easy it is for small businesses now to come up and running without spending much money. You have analytics for free, you have maps for free, you've got your Google business account for free.
Google Labs is awesome.
That's right. So I think one thing that differentiates the search engines, Google per se, with sort of the Ataris of the world was
Right.
these guys have continued to innovate. So unless that changes, I really don't see them going away in the next 6 months.
Yeah, I don't think I do either. To be fair, but who knows? Let's find out what that greater context was from Leo. We'll have to chat with Leo at some point. So you're here today. You've spoken already twice. What do you come to Pubcon for specifically? What do you look to get out of Pubcon?
Yeah, so it's essentially meeting people, figuring out what are the new technologies, hearing people like Leo, scare the shit out of you. So every once in a while, you kind of come across different companies in the space. You hear about innovations that happen right here, right now. So it's definitely sort of one of my to-go conferences out there.
Sure. And have there been any conversations here on the exhibit hall floor or whatnot that have made you say, ooh, that's a new tactic, that's a new strategy, or that's an emerging trend that I haven't heard of until PubCon?
So I think just being at a number of conferences every other month, you kind of hear about different emerging technologies and different verticals. I think one thing that everybody is also concentrating now on is deals. And we ourselves as AdLift is looking pretty closely to it. We've been working with a couple of clients, figuring out how deals should work. And I think deals is one of those things. It's again a very different animal.
Right.
Everybody wants to do it. You have these deal offers with every mom and pop shop or brick and mortar shop. But I think
Copycats everywhere.
right, and it's a complex animal. So it's I would say the KPIs involved in deals are as complex as PPC. And we're just seeing that emerging, and it's going to get more and more complicated as you have the living socials and Groupons innovating and making sure that deals are propagated to the right people.
Right.
So I think that's one vertical to probably keep a lookout for.
That's great, and I keep hearing too a lot about local. What are your thoughts with that? Where do you think it's going to go in this coming year?
I think local has always been huge. Even before internet. If you look at the stats, 85% of all purchases happen around a 15-mile radius of where a purple
Really?
lives.
15 miles?
Yeah, I mean, if you were to think about it yourself, like, where do you go to buy stuff, right? 85% of your spending is probably happening at a 15-mile radius.
On the internet.
and that's
I'm an outlier.
And that's where, so local has been there forever.
Yeah.
Now with technologies like social and the internet and mobile, we're just trying to streamline the process. for consumers to be able to buy faster, consume faster, and make informed decisions.
Because we just need people to buy more, and more, much, much faster.
We do. That's
So
right.
Prashant, if people would like to work with AdLift, who should they get in touch with? Where should they go?
They can get in touch with me. My email address is prashant@adlift.com. You can even Google Prashant Puri or AdLift.
And you're going to dominate those top 3 results when you do a Google search.
So it's fairly easy to get in touch with people now. So Prashant Puri, and you can get in touch with me.
Well, thank you so much, Prashant, for your insights here at Pubcon. And everyone, Amanda Kulong, TechZulu Live here at Pubcon. We will be back shortly.